Running in, saw a fun message yesterday that escaped me who it was, but they were looking forward to catching this morning this segment, Coffee Chat, as we're getting prepared for the release podcast tomorrow with Tajan Braithwaite Renderos. It's always a mouthful. Sorry for me. It's early in the morning, right? I haven't done my vocal exercises. This is the part of my day to get my tongue, to get my mouth, to get my alliteration, my enunciation. That's not the alliteration. Enunciation. See, case in point. But anyways, I'm glad you're here. Excited to continue this conversation about the modern workplace. Today, I want to talk about generations. The idea that COVID, like this pandemic thing that we saw the last couple of years, many changes in the workplace. The conversation with Tajan, we're going to discuss a lot of those. But one key point that I want to kind of put a spotlight on, it was the changeover of a generational workforce. During this, we'll say three-year period, 3 and change year period, we've seen now where generations are outnumbered in the work. The baby boomers, the millennials are no longer the majority in the workforce. The growing majority in the workforce are actually Gen Z. And so this leads me to my thought of the day. And this is reality. Misunderstanding and overlooking millennials. If you remember back 4 years ago, this was quite the conversation. Misunderstanding and overlooking millennials should serve as a notice to all leaders not to do it again. Again, remember what's going on here. This idea that we're changing generations. So this entire, I can remember for so many years, 2, 3, 4 years, there was this discussion. How do you deal with millennials? Oh, millennials, we have all these millennials. And it was so funny. So many people are like, guess what? 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we changed generations too. The difference is my generation, Gen X, I'm the end of Gen X, as many of you are. We weren't big enough to cause waves. Millennials were. And we saw all this reaction to it. And guess what? A lot of what we're experiencing right now, the changes in the workplace, one of the big ones is like, I don't have to put up with your, not going to go there. I mean, that's a generational change. Millennials didn't usurp that, but Gen Z does. Why? Because they know they have other options. They've been empowered. Is that a bad thing? No. I want my kids to be able to say, when they have a toxic leader, as some of them have, to feel empowered to say, I don't have to put up with your immaturity, your toxicity, your negativity, and your poor behavior. I want my 16-year-old daughter to feel so empowered as part of Gen Z. And so misunderstanding and overlooking millennials should serve as a notice to all leaders, regardless of generation. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Seek to understand, be curious, be fascinated. We've talked much about that. To say, okay, things have changed. It's a more dominant generation. And just because they have different opinions, different desires, different values, doesn't mean it's bad. There's some of them we should adopt too. Look forward to the episode releasing tomorrow with Tajan. Glad you guys are here. Hope you got value from this. If you did, I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts. What are you seeing? You can do me one honor. If you got value from this today, share it with someone. Pass it along. Continue that conversation. That, to me, is where you learn the most, is when you have these conversations with more people. Catch you next time.